Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Whittle's Read. So I have finished exams, uni is done for the year, which means I can focus back on reading and making videos, which is exactly what I want to do. But also, because it's holidays, I'm about to go away for 2 weeks, so I'm not letting the channel disappear when I now have the time because of scheduling, and I don't think I'll be able to film up there because, I won't have my bookshelf, and without the books, don't have much content. So I'm just going to try to rattle off a few videos now before I go up, and so, I'm not going to bother with the movie magic of changing my shirt or anything, but, I'm just going to get some good content, power through, and get it all out there. And today, I'm going to start with just a little video on the books I've bought recently, specifically in December, but it could go for November as well because I didn't buy any. So, I bought 3 books this month, all last week, as a bit of a celebration for finishing exams and everything like that, because I still shouldn't really be buying books. I have so many unread books on my shelf I have to get to, and so this was really something I shouldn't have done, but of course I don't regret it at all. So, the books I have bought, I bought 3 last week from the city in Sydney. The first of which I actually haven't displayed for a reason. It's such a cool book that I thought if I just showed it before I talked about it, it would completely give away the surprise, so I will talk about that in a bit. The other 2 I have here is Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas by Hunter S. Thompson, which I was so excited to read. I've actually already finished it. We went to the city 4 days ago, and I started it the day after and just plowed through it. It's such a good book. I don't want to go into it too much here, but I've heard crazy things about Hunter S. Thompson and known him to be, a bombastic, insane, popular figure, and he didn't let me down at all. It is such an interesting look into America and counterculture and the 60s and all the things I've heard so much about but completely missed, being born in the 90s and being in Australia, so a lot of that didn't happen in the same way here. Such an interesting book. Oh, one thing I should mention, I love both of these editions. This one is just so fluorescent and off the wall and awesome, which means it sticks out so much on my shelf, but if there's one book that deserves to be just loud, it's this one. This book is Small Gods by Terry Pratchett, and it's one of the Discworld series, and I did look up a bunch of videos, including Daniel Green's video on, where should you start when it comes to Discworld, and this is the one that pops up a lot as the best, or one of the best in general, and also a great place to start. And so I'm very excited to get into it, because, the whole kind of comedy, fantasy, sci-fi, British world is something I've read a lot and loved a lot. Like, I grew up on Douglas Adams, and I adore Neil Gaiman, and, I've read Good Omens, which Terry Pratchett wrote on with Neil Gaiman. And so whilst I've been very much in the world of Pratchett, I've never actually read anything that was purely his own work. And so I'm very excited to get into that. And again, the edition is lovely. The other one, the next Discworld book I'd read would be Mort, and both Mort and Small Gods come in this beautiful. It is a hardcover, but it's almost like a cloth bound, because it's just these beautiful, not massive overbearing copies, which I think look great, especially with like kind of the shiny little silver streaks on there. Now, the last book has a bit of a story to it. So I have been searching for months for American Psycho by Bret, Easton, Ellis, which, for anyone who doesn't know, was a massively controversial book when it came out, and still is a bit today. Because of the book, Ellis received death threats. Any newspaper that gave the book a positive review was swarmed with letters saying people were unsubscribing, and it caused massive controversy to the extent that it's actually restricted in my country. I had no idea books were restricted in my country. I didn't know that that was a thing, and so to find this out was a bit of a shock. But every independent store I went to didn't have it. I asked around for ages, and I just couldn't get anything. And that was until I went to the city on Sunday and went into Dimmock's. We were there at opening, so there was no one there, so I could just walk up to the counter and ask. And so, I asked, do you have American Psycho? And they're like, oh yeah, of course, 1 minute. And she pulls out a key and bends down behind the counter where they have these wooden lockers. And I thought that's just where they keep, spare bags or stock stuff, boring stuff. But she opens this locker and there's a stack of books locked away. And she pulls out a copy of American Psycho and hands it to me. And I'm like, just a bit taken aback, and I just asked, how many books do you have back there in that restricted section? And she's like, oh, a fair few at the moment. And she did say that the controversy around these books makes them sell really quickly. And the other thing she said is they're often hard to get a hold of because people just steal them because of a reason that I can't blame them too much. I'll show the book now. So, this is the picador version of American Psycho, which I have said for a long time is one of my favourite covers because of how it's just blank white with that little hint of red, which just kind of does... It seems that everything is okay, and there's just that hint of warning of something horrible about to happen. And as you may also see, it's shrink-wrapped, so you can't get into it at all. And it comes with this glorious sticker, Category 1 restricted, not available to persons under 18 years. Here's my problem. I can't open this. I can't take this sticker off. This sticker's so bloody cool. This whole experience of buying this book from the restricted section, which is such a childhood dream when you're reading Harry Potter, was just so incredible. And now, to read it, I've got to remove that status. And it's such a collector's item, even though I don't think it's valuable because of it, I just can't do it. And it's just the best, most genius move when it comes to censorship. Make the book so cool, and that if you read it, it stops being cool, that people just won't touch it. I'm going to have to get the ebook or something, because it just... Everything about how it currently stands with the shrink wrap, with the sticker on what is this controversial, dangerous book. I just love everything about it. And so I'm going to have to find another way to read it because I'm not touching it. That's staying on my shelf forever. I'm actually thinking about going back now and asking what other books are there and building a whole restricted section. But yeah, that's my book buying. I'm not going to buy any more books for a while and just try to get a lot read. My next video is actually going to be my December reading rush. I'm trying to get to 50 books read by the end of the year, and I'm so close. I'm not going to say what number I'm currently at, but I'm so close, and I've got a lineup to get me right through the end, and I'm going to show all that off in the next video. But apart from that, that's pretty much it. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks, guys. Bye.